welcome back to Labours of Love Classroom. I'm continuing on in this little swatch and we're now going to look at attaching a ribbing. Now if this were a hat, sometimes you work from the top down, from the crown to the brim and then to a ribbing at the bottom, and the designer asks you to flip your work and then you work the ribbing attached to the end in little short rows. I'm just going to show you how I do that. So normally with my ribbing I do chain 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then working into the second chain from the hook, I will do a half treble. Well, if the pattern requests a half treble. So work the stitches into the chains. So each half treble sits in a chain by itself. Oh, sorry, do that one again. So we've got 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is your 7 half treble. In my patterns, I will ask you to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches. So I'm not counting the one that your chain has come out of. I'm asking you to slip stitch into the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So into this one, and slip stitch in through there. Slip stitch into the next one, and pull through, and to the third one. This, in the case of the berries and the hats, gives you a little decrease on your brim to go down into your ribbing, and also the third chain or the third slip stitch actually works as a turning chain for you. So I'm now going to turn this, and a way to avoid having a gap at the bottom here is I'm actually going to work into the back of that slip stitch. So keep your slip stitches quite loose, otherwise you're going to find this tricky to move into. So you don't do a chain because this last treble, or this last slip stitch is your turning chain. So I'm going to work into the second one. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So this middle one, pop your hook through there, just through the back lip of that. So if you can see, the front lip is still here of that slip stitch. So I'm going in through the back lip, and then this is my bottom slip stitch. And then these are your 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of your ribbing. So I've put my hook through the back of that slip stitch, and I'm now, because we're working into the back loop only for the ribbing, I'm just going to go into the center here and work into the back loop of this half treble. Pull your yarn up to the height, yarn over, and pull through all 3 stitches, and then you can continue working as normal your half trebles. And my yarn's got tight, so we'll work our half trebles and then I'll show you that again. So you're just working half trebles in the back loop only, and this gives you quite a good ribbing for garments or hats. There's 6 and 7 into the back loop only. Okay, and then turn 1 or chain 1 and turn, yarn over and working into the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I'll show you again how to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches. So we're not going to slip stitch into the one that we did the chain out of in the first place, so we're going to ignore that one. So it's into the next 3. So that's 1, 1 here, and that anchors that down in there. And 2, again keep your slip stitches quite loose because we are working into them again. And 3. Then turn your work so you can see you have your 3 slip stitches, 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to work into the back loop, or this front loop here, sorry, of the second slip stitch. So you don't need to do a yarn over. We're just working in here. Put that stitch on your hook, and then we're going to go in, I missed a thread, into the back loop of that 7th half treble there. Yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through all 3. This means that there's not the same gap, otherwise this would be very gappy here at the bottom, and it keeps it quite tight. I had worked this before without doing that little slip stitch trick, and it works fine, but it does leave you with a bit of a gap. So you can see on the bottom of the hat here that there is no gap of any consequence there. So there's just small stitch gaps that you would normally have, but there's no huge gap where the half treble ribbing is not attached to the brim. So I hope you find that useful. It may take you a little bit of practice trying those stitches out, so you can see that the ribbing is starting to appear here, and in a finished garment that's what the ribbing will look like, and it's gathered in by an elastic at the end just to give you that little bit more structure and comfort to your finished berry. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please comment below if there's any questions you have, or get in touch, and if you do make anything and post on Instagram, please do tag me, Labours of Love Crochet. I'd love to see what you're working on. Thank you.